Hey everybody, I'm Sarah at Taste of Home.
And I'm Mark.
Hey, yes you are. Mark is one of our talented photographers and we're so happy to have you on this video today. I'm glad you're with me, Mark, as we make these air fryer chicken wings, which are so good.
Let's get mixing here.
Do your thing.
Well, we're gonna start off with some garlic powder. We're gonna go 2 teaspoons, right?
Yep. One of the things about this recipe that I really love is that this dry rub is so flavorful and it really does permeate the chicken meat. And when you are eating that chicken, you can taste all these, like there's so many levels of flavor. There are 9 different ingredients in this dry rub, but everybody plays an important part in that. And I love it.
I see that. Well, I'm working through the garlic salt, the mustard, and the...
mustard.
I'm going with the ginger here.
Nutmeg. It's kind of unique, but it's good in there.
It's gonna be interesting. All right, moving on to about a half teaspoon here, right?
Yep.
Pepper. Tell me a little bit about this here.
So the allspice. So allspice is one of those things that I don't use a lot of.
I don't either.
It's cinnamon, nutmeg, cloves, and a little pepper. And it's used in cuisines in Caribbean, Latin America.
This is throwing me a little bit. I don't get it. What's going on?
Well, let me tell you, you're not going to taste that baking soda, but that is actually a popular ingredient in a lot of like fried chicken recipes, chicken wings and fried chicken. It really makes for a crispy skin, so it's important to have that in there. And some recipes use baking powder. Doesn't matter, but again, you're not going to taste that, so
okay,
no
top
worries.
it off with the cayenne.
And a little bit of cayenne for some heat.
All right, we're going to whisk this up.
As you do that, Mark, I'm going to get ready for breaking down these chicken wings. Now, this recipe calls for 2.5 pounds or 12 chicken wings. Our chicken wings are on the larger side, so we're just gonna go with the weight on those. Okay, that's it, you're done.
Okay.
See
Well,
ya.
bye. Hey, you can't kick out your wingman.
Oh, I know, I don't want to do that. All right, so what we're gonna do now, before I cut the wings.
I'm gonna glove up, how's that?
Okay. So it's really important to dry the wings, and we want to do that so that the seasoning adheres to the skin, and also because when we get these into the air fryer, you want that skin to be just as dry as possible because that will make for the crispiest skin. Moisture is the enemy of crispy, so
we gotta pat these
let's
guys dry.
get these. I don't know why I'm not working while I'm talking here.
Me either.
Oh man! All right, so we're gonna pat both sides. I think we're good.
Sharp knife?
Sharp knife, yes, you definitely want a sharp knife. So here's a little lesson on chicken wings. We have whole chicken wings here, but you can buy them already cut party wings. We have a wing tip.
Otherwise known as a flapper.
You've got the flat. This is the flat part of the chicken wing. And this little guy is called the drumette.
My fave.
3 parts. So what we're gonna do is cut off this wing tip. Now you can throw it away or you can keep it for chicken stock because there is a lot of collagen in this little wing tip.
Lots of flavor packed in a small amount.
And Catherine from our prep kitchen said, Sarah, can you save me those wing tips because we're making chicken stock in the prep kitchen? And I said, I will do that.
Beat me to it.
Yeah.
I typically like to freeze them and then use them for stock later on.
Oh, and just that was so easy, right?
Yeah, simple.
I'll put these right over here. You freeze the wing tips and
I
then...
do, and pull them out when we need them. You can see how sharp that knife is too. Dull knife would be what? Cock-a-doodle don't. Very good.
Okay, so now we've got the wing tips off. Move these away. What we're gonna do next is cut through that flap of skin. And then that's gonna help us as we separate the 2 parts of the wing that are left.
So I think your knife skills are better than mine. That's why I opt for the shears.
Do you wanna do one with the shears? Go ahead. You want that one?
Yeah, I guess so. So the same thing too, you can start on either way, but finding that joint, so I'll snip that skin right there, and then sometimes I'll reverse it on this side, and then find that joint, which is now some tricky for me. Okay, maybe the shears aren't best. Okay. I can't find it, there it is.
There you go.
Yeah.
Perfect.
But this is the part that sometimes throws you, is that extra membrane.
Let me
right
help
there.
you here.
So you can go either way.
Okay. All right, so then, like you just showed, you're gonna find the joint and you can kind of see it right here, right? And then we're just gonna run our knife through that joint and that's gonna
Do you ever disjoint them, bend them?
I have in the past. It's kind of fun to do that, but right
A lot
now.
easier and they're easier to cut, I find,
Yeah.
to do it that way.
I find that if I flip it over skin side up, I can find the joint easier.
There you go.
I can see it visually. And then what we're gonna do is you wanna start tossing some of these in the mixture.
Okay, good deal.
Do you have gloves on? Yeah.
Yes, I do.
I like wearing gloves when I'm handling raw chicken.
So I kind of just pat them and then I kind of sprinkle.
Yes, and again, the dry wings, you know, that we patted them dry, blotted them, is gonna help adhere the seasonings to the skin.
And I like to put them all in, right?
Yeah, totally.
That way each gets a fair share here. And a couple more. Here, you wanna toss a few in?
Teamwork.
Thanks. So I think this typically absorbs everything, right?
Yeah, nice and coated. And then after that, we're gonna put these in the air fryer. So let's talk about the air fryer. So an air fryer is really just a mini convection oven. So it heats the food by circulating super hot air around the food that's being held in a small chamber.
Much like your convection possibly in your oven.
Absolutely. So I'm gonna spritz this a little bit with, I've got avocado oil in here.
Okay.
And I prefer doing something like this versus the aerosol nonstick cooking spray because that can get a little gummy.
Okay.
So we've got that coated, little tipped, and then we are gonna place these in here.
Okay.
We won't dump them in because I'm not sure if I can get them all in on this first batch. But what you wanna do is make sure that there is room around each of the wings so that the air can get at it from
So you
all
just
sides.
really can't dump them in so they're tumbled on top of each other.
Yeah, you don't want them stacked. You don't want two layers. You just want to keep them nice and spaced out so they can get as crispy as possible.
So the timing aspect of this, do you trust the timing of it, or do you have to check to see temp-wise if they're done?
Yeah, you should check always and temp the wings. So when these get to 165, we're in good shape.
Okay.
They might be a little bit over by the time that the cooking is done, but they're gonna be crispy and delicious. So I think we're ready. Those look good, right?
I think so.
We'll do another batch. And in they go.
And now the waiting game.
Now, I'm gonna do this kind of, so air fry, temp 300, and then we're gonna do 15, start, and we'll come back.
That's
and
quiet.
Then we'll flip them. Yeah, it's good, I like it.
That's pretty cool.
See you in 15 minutes.
Sounds good.
It's been 15 minutes at 300, and now we're ready to flip these wings.
Oh, look at that.
Those look good. And we're gonna cook these now at 400 degrees for about 20 to 25 minutes.
And that'll take them the rest of the way home.
That's right. And look at how nice, you can see that the skin is dried out a little bit. Thank you, baking soda.
Definitely.
And also dabbing the wings, getting the moisture off of the skin. So we are ready to go for the last part 2 of the air frying.
Sounds good. Hey, I've got a question for you.
Yeah. I can tell you're gonna launch a joke.
Just ready to line one up for you here. So why does a chicken coop have 2 doors?
Start. Why does a chicken coop have 2 doors?
You don't know.
I don't know.
Well, because if
2 doors.
it had 4 doors, it would be a sedan. All right, let's get out of here.
All right. Okay, Mark, the beeper went off. I think we're ready. All right. So, oh my gosh.
Ooh, look at those guys.
Wow. This was 20 minutes. And
That's amazing.
Isn't that great? Look at how delicious. Golden, brown, crispy.
I guess I wouldn't have expected it to look like that.
Even
That's
some
fabulous.
charring going on.
Exactly.
And if we wanted 5 more minutes, we could do that. Again, you want these to be at 165. We're gonna put these on the baking sheet, and then we'll do our second batch with the other wings that we have ready. I'm ready to eat these chicken wings.
Me too.
Oh my gosh, my favorite way, thank you, to serve chicken wings, I'll take a flat,
And you know me, a drummy guy.
is to have an assortment of dipping sauces. So we've got some blue cheese, we've got some hot buffalo sauce, which is so good, and then of course ranch, along with some celery and carrot sticks. So,
I like to wing it and dip in multiples. That's what I do.
and hey, I think that we're gonna probably polish these off, no problem. If we had leftovers, no big
Impossible.
deal. We could save them, store them in the fridge for 3 to 4 days, no problem, and then reheat them in the air fryer, of course.
Really?
The air fryer is great for reheating food.
That's
Enough
something else I
talking.
didn't know.
Enough talking, let's eat.
Let's do it.